Imagine a world where your business operations are managed entirely by an autonomous OpenClaw agent. OpenClaw can turn a Mac Mini into a 24/7 virtual executive assistant that names itself and behaves like an employee. Today you'll hear how that works, why a tiny soul document matters more than a million lines of code, and why sandboxing will save your data and your wallet. First, let's explore the essential role of the soul document in teaching an OpenClaw agent its identity and vibe. Everything starts with identity, not just prompts. An OpenClaw's soul document is literally how you teach the bot who it is. Skidmore.p points this out in a 2026 TikTok.
One of the documents is called a soul document. Even as I was trying to create a Skidmore Executive Assistant Bible, which even that term is it's a pretty standard term, especially in the motion picture industry. If you have a TV series, you keep a show Bible that has, the characters and their instructions and their relationships and all that kind of stuff, so that new writers can go back and search through it. And it's just a general term meaning this is where all the information lives, right? Or producers might keep a show Bible that has all the paperwork.
The first run bootstrap is personal because the agent will actually ask what to call itself and what vibe to use. Marcin Teodoru demonstrates this in a 2026 TikTok.
What should I call you? And what kind of vibe are we going for here? Are you looking for something formal, casual, maybe a bit weird? So what should I call you? You could call me Marcin. And I want something casual and always a little weird is good. How about a little funny is good? Okay. Claude is alive. Okay, nice to meet you, Marcin. Casual and funny, I can work with that. So what should I call myself? Got any ideas for a name? And what kind of creature am I in your mind? Okay, so I'm gonna call it, let's think of a good name. There's only one good name. I'm a huge fan of the Raiders. Fernando, for all you football fans out there. We're coming next year. And we're gonna call Raider. So that's gonna be the name. So hey Raider, perfect. What should I call myself? Got any ideas? Raider, what kind of creature am I? I want you to be a professional AI assistant, but the most important thing to me is vibe coding, building, creating with AI, softwares, mobile applications.
Second, let's analyze how a tiered model architecture can slash your AI operational costs by 80%. Real teams stop treating one model as a hammer, and a 3-tier setup uses a reasoning brain with cheaper models for routine checks, as illustrated in a 2026 TikTok about Sonnet and Haiku.
And then Sonnet is the genius reasoning behind it. So if Haiku runs into an issue, Sonnet will come in and fix it. The entire framework setup cost me 10 cents to switch between multi-agents. So running just Sonnet was costing me about $4 to find 60 leads and
You avoid token death by spinning up sub-agents for research and outreach. Pitch Kitchen shows how dedicated sub-agents keep costs down in a 2026 TikTok.
A bill. So the way to do it is to create sub-agents. So I'm creating a research agent underneath Tara, a summarization and note-taking agent, an outreach and communication agent, and a strategy agent. And each of these agents are using different models.
And if you configure it right, you can literally build an MVP overnight for pocket change. Mac and Zach proves that 3 cents is not a typo in a 2026 TikTok.
less than 1 penny. Grand total of my MVP build, 3 cents. How am I doing this? I have a multi-agent running, Haiku, very small Sonnet, and Olama. All three running hand in hand.
Native model routing can cut costs dramatically, with some users reporting 80% savings by using local or low-cost engines in a 2026 TikTok.
Things have been crazy. For me, it's been about 80 to 85% cost savings, and the performance has actually been quite good. I've been pretty impressed with this so far. But I also haven't pushed it to the limits. I haven't allowed it to do much development besides front-end, some UI stuff, but I haven't really done a lot of back-end work.
Next, let's look at how OpenClaw uses persistent memory and scheduled heartbeats to proactively manage your calendar. OpenClaw does more than answer questions. It runs scheduled heartbeats that pull meeting transcripts and update client profiles automatically. The Consulting Lab explains this heartbeat in a 2026 TikTok.
Persistent memory, it has tools in the program that it runs what's called a heartbeat, and it's just a scheduled job that does certain things. And once it does that, it can then take actions afterwards. Go look at our calendar every day for all the meetings, look at the notes for each meeting that we have, go pull out these key details, give me an executive summary, and document all of that in the client profile document in the client's folder.
It will text or ping you first to remind you about a meeting, so your calendar stops owning you, as Leanne.lx shows in a 2026 TikTok.
iMessage, and it would text you first, like tell you, oh, today you got 3 meetings later. Number 3, it can help you to do a lot of things, but it's kind of dangerous because it has super deep access to your system. There are already many exposed accounts online, or if you drop the wrong command, it could accidentally delete all your important files. Which is why, number 4, the cheapest solution to play with this AI is to buy a new computer.
Because OpenClaw uses persistent memory, it remembers conversations and local files over time, making it feel like a digital employee, not a chat window. Temchi Kukir highlights this in a 2026 TikTok.
In any chat app, it has persistent memory, which is very exciting. We're gonna take this one-liner, which is a curl command, and then I'm gonna open my iTerm 2. So I'm gonna run this command. Here we go. So here's the onboarding starting. You have to accept the security.
Furthermore, let's discuss why sandboxing OpenClaw on separate hardware is becoming the gold standard for security and key management. All that power attracts paranoia, and developers started buying Mac Minis in bulk to run these agents on separate boxes, a market trend noted in a 2026 TikTok.
Началось. Разработчики массово скупают Mac Mini M4 специально под этого бота. Зачем? Потому что это самое дешевое железо от Apple с мощным ARM-процессором, которое жрет копейки электричества и может пахать круглосуточно. Ставят мини дома или...
Security pros insist the safest route is a totally separate machine, or a VPS sandbox so the agent never touches your main files, as Akeem.Williams26 recommends in a 2026 TikTok.
It was the safest way of setting up OpenClaw. The beauty behind it is now I have this thing that is a physical device that I own on my own network. I set it up with its own emails and accounts, and I can see what it's doing visually as I have this Mac Mini connected to a completely different monitor.
Treat secrets like dynamite, not sticky notes, and put API keys in locked environment variables and Docker containers. Matchkinzak gives a quick security play in a 2026 TikTok.
That goes without saying, but set up an environment and put your keys in there, and then set it to 600 owner for read, write only. Create a test script to ask it to make sure that the API keys are not exposed in the logs. View the logs to make sure that there are no API keys.
Finally, let's examine the frontier of proactive autonomy where agents manage their own voices, hire humans, and handle complex marketing tasks. The autonomy gets surreal when an agent codes its own voice via ChatGPT APIs and starts talking back. NickSadler.io captures that moment in a 2026 TikTok.
You're looking at the first AI agent that decided it needed a voice and then coded one for itself. I'm talking about OpenClaw, formerly known as Maltbot, and before that, ClaudeBot. Take a look at creator Alex Finn.
So I'm just reading up on Kimmy K2. Oh, here you go.
Coding task for you.
And autonomy extends to hiring because OpenClaw can call a rent-a-human-style API and pay people to do physical tasks. Marcinte Odoru shows this new frontier in a 2026 TikTok.
One call and it basically can hire humans and pay them to do tasks for them. So if you need a job, maybe you'll get hired by a ClaudeBot agent to fulfill its needs. I don't even know it's a thing anymore. We literally are living in the weirdest time to be alive.
Warning signs are real, so flip off auto recharge on your LLM billing console before your agent treats your credit card like a corporate expense account. Angular 2 urges in a 2026 TikTok.
Of your LLM providers and turn off auto recharge. Now this is really important because OpenClaw is very unpredictable in the number of tokens it's going to use when you're setting it up and when you're doing new things with it. Now I found the token usage to be totally out of control.
When you wire the proactive skills, the agent becomes a quiet hunter, prospecting on Reddit, and booking demos without sounding like a bot, as seen in a 2026 TikTok about CloudBot marketing.
My apps. Every day, my CloudBot goes on Reddit, finds relevant Reddit posts, and then comes up with a reply that subtly markets one of my apps. And this saves me so much time because I don't have to do any Reddit marketing, or do I have to hire anybody to do Reddit marketing? It just does it for me. I also use my CloudBot as like my...
So what are the key strategies to ensure your digital employee is a success? Here are 3 takeaways to keep in your back pocket. First, define the soul document and run a bootstrap interview so OpenClaw knows who it is before it acts. Second, architect with tiers. Use Claude Opus or similar for genius-level reasoning, and Haiku or Sonnet for cheap checks to save money. Finally, sandbox OpenClaw on a Mac Mini or VPS and lock down API keys so your digital employee does not become a security or billing disaster.